when people are already poor, it's like almost impossible to get out of that position. That's not even like, I don't know. I'm learning a lot from you about this. I didn't even really know much about this, about the jail system and everything like that. But I do that because I'm somebody who's struggled with finances with this student loan debt and everything like that. I do know that a lot of things are set up that way. Like even just like when you're struggling with your bills, it feels like every company makes it worse for you. Like, so for example, if you go into, if you don't have any money in your bank and you go into withdraw, well, then they fine you, and then they fine you a week later. And then it's like, okay, well, now I'm fined $400. I already had zero to begin with. If I had zero to begin with, clearly I'm not in a place where like I can just come up with $400. $5 would have been good. You know what I mean? So there's that. And then there's just like other things. Like if you have low credit score, they're like, okay, we'll give you a lease, but we're going to double the price. So it's like, you can't lease a car or buy a car, finance a car for a low price if you have a bad credit score. Like, it's just like everything. If you're in that position, they know you're desperate and they'll do whatever they can to keep you there so that you can keep spending money. You know what I mean? Yep. Or like the Venmo instant transfer is another one too. Like,
oh yeah.
On Venmo, if you need your money right away and you're somebody who like desperately needs it right away, they charge you like, I don't know how much percentage, but like it's usually like 50 cents to like a couple dollars depending, on how big it is. But I'm like, that's another one. It's like some people, if they need the money right then, like why should it cost money to get it? You know what I mean? I don't know.
My understanding of that is essentially you're paying a fee or a tax, so to speak, to be put at the front of the line. So.
Okay. Well, I guess I guess that's not so bad. That makes sense. But like the thing with the banks, like when you're getting like all those fees for already withdrawing, it's just like too much, you know?
The one that always confused me, and I had this happen, this is why I'm bringing this up, is with banks, is say, for instance, you have a loan for a vehicle and when you first got it, you didn't have great credit and you're paying, we'll say $400 and you had like a 12% APR on that. And now, you've got your credits taken care of or it's moving up. I'll put it that way. You're starting to fix yourself and you're like, man, if I can lower this car payment, it would really help me. Like, refinancing is never a good idea because you're essentially extending your loan and you're going to pay way more than the vehicle's worth. But sometimes it will help. Like if you can reduce that by even $100 a month, you're like, oh, cool. Now I can, it's a buffer zone for me. And I remember, I think I was probably 22, 23. I know I was still in the Army. And I remember I called my bank up and I was like, hey, I want to refinance for my vehicle and everything. And I was like, to make it lower. And I'd already gone through their little online system to figure out like what I would be paying a month and everything. And they were like, oh, we can't when they ran my credit and everything, they were like, oh, we can't refinance. I said, I don't understand. Like I've been paying, we'll say $400. Like I'm willing to extend the loan and just pay a little less every month. I was like, that makes no sense. If I'm already paying $400, I can cover $225 or $300. Yeah. They're like, yeah, but we can't do that because your credit score. I was like, so I can't. So I have a better credit score, but you're not willing to reduce the payment and extend the contract.
Because they're saying, oh, if your credit score is good, you could afford it, is like what they're basically saying.
Yeah. Well, that, and then also there's the whole FDIC and all the regulations and stuff. And I was like, I don't understand. Like I qualified for this with a worse credit score. Like, how is it not possible? And
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's some other stuff that you kind of start getting into and you're just shaking your head. Like, this makes no sense. Like, extend it out and give me a less payment so I can catch up on everything else.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but it seems like there's a lot of corruption in like all the fields, like medical, psychology. It seems like there's so many fields that have like corruption when it comes to money. And I can understand. I was talking about this with somebody the other day. Like I try to stay positive, but at the same time, I also could understand why some people in the United States could be depressed and like have a negative view of society. When you start to I get in those, I'll be honest, sometimes I get into states of mind where I'm just like, this is all terrible. And I try not to get there. And I, unfortunately, I've had like depressions in my life where I have felt that way. And I'm like kind of coming out of one right now. But there's been moments in my life where I'm just like, there's so much corruption in the world that I don't even know how this is bearable. You know what I mean? So, and I don't blame people for getting to that place, especially if they're on the negative end of things.